Hello violinists, welcome to Prime Strings. I'm Henriette and today we are practicing Gypsy Dance from the Fiddle Time Runners book. Before we can play it, we have to just look through it to see how the order of the music should be. So if you start from the beginning, you play all the way through until you reach the first time bar and you play into the first time bar up to the repeat. Then when you hit the repeat, you go back to the top. So you play the first two lines again, and then at the end of bar 12, you don't carry on playing into the first time bar, but you skip those 4 bars and you go into the second time bar, and from there you go to the end. That sounds a bit complicated, but it isn't really once you try it. Perhaps you can read it along with me or even play it along with me, because we're going to play it first. 1 and 2 and... So now what we can do is just work out that very tricky rhythm. You got it at the end and you got it at the beginning as well. And what I always say to all my students, just say in your head, my gypsy dance. And that way it's very easy to know how that rhythm goes. So perhaps you can sing it with me. My gypsy dance. So when I go from the beginning, I go like and. That's it, then you've got the rhythm. Now you've noticed that that only works if my bow goes very quick on the first quaver. Actually, I should say if your bow goes very quick on both quavers, because your up bow is going to be longer than your down bows. You see, so I've got to go at least twice the speed on those down bows to make sure I don't run out of bow. Shall we do that again from the beginning? 1, 2. There you go. And I should just point out something which you probably already know. I've played a low second finger on the A string because that finger is called C natural. We're playing our finger pattern in this piece. Wide second finger on the G string, which comes just under the first time bar and the second time bar. Then close a second finger on the D string and on the A string as well. There would also be a closed second finger on the E string, but that note doesn't appear in the music, so that's lucky for us, isn't it? So low second finger on A, low second finger on D, wide second finger on the G string when it comes. Will you play it again with me? 1 and 2 and. For a moment. Let's have a look now at bar 9 and bar 11. You've probably noticed that bar 9 begins on a second finger on an F, and now the same tune comes along again, but a tone lower. So now I'm starting on the first finger. Shall we do those 2 bars again? Starting on bar 9. 1 and nice. 1, 2. And now I want you to listen very specially to this third finger on the G string when it comes here. And this is the last note of bar 11. So let's play bar 11 very slowly, and then we're going to hold our note on the last one, on the third finger on G, because we just want to make sure that that note sounds nicely in tune. 1, 2. Shall we try that again? Slowly. And one more time. And wow, I'm well impressed with that. Super playing. Okay, let's pick it up now from the first time bar. At the end of the first time bar, we're going to go back to the beginning, and then we'll hit the second time bar and we'll go to the end. 1, 2. Wow, that is really, really good learning today. Now for a moment, I also want to think about the dynamics in this piece. The dynamics, as you know, are all the louds and softs. And I'm going to start underneath the second time bar now, and I'm going to look at the dynamics there. So you can see P for piano, which means quiet, and then the second bar of the second time bar, now it gets complicated, which is bar 14. Which you might call bar 14B, 14 the second time that you play it, is crescendo. And crescendo means gradually get a little bit louder. Now when you play crescendo, you know, we've talked about this many times, you can do 3 things to make your playing louder. The first one is to use more bow. Now we don't instantly want to go louder, but we want to gradually become louder. So gradually my bow strokes are going to get longer and longer, and you can see that here. I'll show you. So take a look at the length of bow that I'm using. Each individual bow stroke gets longer and longer than the note before as I go along into bar 14 and 15. You've got to measure that lengthening of your bow quite carefully, because in bar 17 it says mezzo forte, and then you've got to extend your bowing from there still further. So don't give it all away too soon, but keep it very gradual. Longer, 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 and then you've got enough bow length left for the end. Shall we practice that together? We're going under the second time bar. 1, 2. There we go, that's super. And you can keep on working at that in your own time as well, away from this video, because that doesn't happen overnight. You can really practice it, making your bow strokes longer. Now you know, I hope that there is another way of playing louder, and that is moving your bow gradually towards the bridge. So when we play that second time bar one more time, we might start a little bit nearer the fingerboard with our bow, and then gradually pull the bow towards the bridge as we play our bow strokes longer. So you have to split your brain in half to do that, because you've got to think of 2 things at the same time. 1, make your bow strokes gradually longer. 2, pull that bow towards the bridge. Let's practice it, shall we? Second time bar. 1, and really good work on your dynamics. Well done. Now at the end here, you can see the accents. Those little wedges on every note means emphasize those notes a little bit more, and it comes at the end of this line. And it's really making a statement there at the end. Now, shall we play the whole piece one more time? So with the repeat, and this time we're going to really focus on the louds and softs. So underneath the first note of this piece, it says mezzo forte, but then as a sort of additional subtitle, it says fiery. So you might be going overboard a little bit with that. 1, 2. I am well impressed with your playing. Really good progress there. If you have any questions after this video, what can you do? Please write your questions in the comments section below. I will get to see this and I will get back to you, I promise. If you've enjoyed this video, go on then, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. I'll really appreciate it. I very much look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.